How do I take my skills and leverage them to make more money? You need to sell those skills. Simple as that. I'm Jordan Welch, and I'm on HelpBnk. How do I get rich? Well, it's a very loaded question, but the basic thing I would say is pick one path, find somebody that's already done that thing, study them, copy their business model, and give yourself a long enough time horizon to develop the skills and actually be able to make it happen. Most people get started, they give up in 3 months because they didn't make it happen. It took me 10 years to make my first million. It's probably gonna take you a little bit less because you're on HelpBnk, but it's gonna take you some time. So give yourself more time, pick one path, stick with it, and maybe you'll be able to make it happen. What is the most important skill for entrepreneurs to have? In my opinion, it's gonna be grit, because you're gonna run into so many challenges that are gonna make you wanna quit and give up on this journey. I felt like I had worked so hard and I went all in on myself and it was for nothing. In fact, that experience made me want to quit entrepreneurship altogether. You have to be able to keep pushing through everything. I've gone through everything you could think of, from losing family members to getting negative tens of thousands of dollars in debt, but regardless, I still show up and still pursue my thing. That's the difference between me and most other people. And if you look at all the salespeople of the world, they have this one thing. It's the most common denominator. So I would say grit. What's the one thing that separates successful entrepreneurs from the rest? Well, funny enough, as I just said, is grit. You got to be able to push through. You got to be able to get through the hard times, and most people is not able to do that because they don't have this. And the way that you can develop this grit is just by being clear on why you want to actually do business in the first place. Maybe you want to be famous, maybe you want to be rich, or maybe it's more simple that you just want to take care of your children or your parents. It's up to you, but you need to be clear on that. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to keep going. How do I find purpose and take control of my own life? I think that you don't need to have some deep, profound philosophical purpose to get started. Most of the time, it's just your purpose is to make money or to drop out of school or to quit your job. That's your first most important purpose. Don't get too lost in the sauce of trying to think, oh, well, I don't want to start a lawn care business because it's not my purpose. Like, you just need to make some money. That's your purpose for now. And once you get in a financially free position, then you can pursue those real passion projects. If you were to start over with zero, what would be your first step? I actually did a video like this. I went from broke to rich in 30 days, literally starting over from zero. Over the next 30 days, I'm gonna try to get rich starting from $0 to see if it's still possible. Today is day one and I literally have $0. And my very first step was figuring out how to get some capital. So I started doing DoorDash, delivering food every single day to make around $100 a day so I could have some startup capital. And in my first week, I had over $700 and I used that money to start my first business. So get out there, get a job, get a hustle, get some money. I'm stuck in my 9-to-5. How do I get out? Well, probably stop looking at yourself being stuck. That's probably step one. If you feel like you're stuck, then you're always gonna stay stuck. Look at it as you're using your 9-to-5 to get you to that next level. What are the best 3 habits for success? I like to make a to-do list every day before I go to bed. It just helps me stay focused in the morning. I like to read books. I think the best wisdom of the world is in books. And I also think that you should be working out and taking care of your body because with a healthy body, you can have a healthy mind. And from that position, you can create anything. I started my business, but I'm losing confidence. How do I stay disciplined to keep going? Maybe it's not for you. Maybe you're not supposed to be successful. I can't make you get disciplined. So it's up to you. If you want to do this, do it. If you don't do it. And that's okay too. But one day you're going to look back and probably regret the fact that you didn't pursue the thing that you wanted to do. How do I surround myself with the right people? You can't really get around really ultra wealthy and successful people as somebody who's broke because they don't really care to pick your brain or have a coffee with you. The best thing you can do is just surround yourself with this information. So the videos that you watch, the books that you read, the people you follow on Twitter, that is literally surrounding yourself with those people. You don't have to physically be there with them to surround yourself with them. How do I get clients for my business? Well, it depends on the business. But in general, the best way is to have a product that's so damn good that you're screaming to the top of the world that everybody needs to buy this, and you go out there and you sell those things yourself through outreach, through phone calls, through knocking the door down. But first, you have to have a good product that's actually worth selling, or nobody's gonna want to buy it. Was it harder to make your first 1,000 or your first million? First $1,000 was actually really hard for me. It was like a huge goal for me as a teenager, and it's because I didn't take my advice earlier in this video, which was go get a job. I tried to make my first $1,000 by doing all these little side hustles, and every time I would blow my budget. I think for me it was harder to make my first 1,000 But for you, it shouldn't be if you just listen to me. What's the biggest mistake you've made? When I made my first $100,000, just spending it all as fast as possible because I thought I was rich. That was a pretty big mistake, and I had to deal with that for a full year to try to get back out of that position. How do you handle failure? I just embrace it. I think it's the best thing that can happen to you as a business owner because it shows you where you need to improve. So lean into failure, especially as a beginner. You need to fail more, and you need to fail really fast because that means you're going to be making progress. Don't be scared of failure. Don't let school trick you. It's actually a good thing. What is the best routine for success? I don't know. Everybody's got their own things that work for them. Some people waking up at 4 a.m. Some people's working until 4 a.m. It's up to you. You have to find your strength and figure out what you're best at. You got to figure it out for yourself. There's not a one size fits all for these things. Try some stuff. See if you like working better at night, daytime. Figure it out for yourself. Will money make me happy? Yeah. It's not the end-all be-all solution, but it will definitely make you happier than being dead broke and not being able to take care of yourself. Do you feel like you've made it? Yeah, sure. I have the freedom to do what I want every day. I have my dream job. My family's taken care of. But I don't feel like I've made it to the point where I can just stop completely. And I think that is the misconception with this term, made it. I feel happy with where I am today, but I'm looking forward to where I'm going to go next.